Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 13, unlucky for some, of Heavy Metal Sunday at Dunsys, where you get to watch an old heavy metal guy, me, look through an old heavy metal magazine, in this particular case, KERRANG issue 13. Now I have two of these, but we'll get to that. While I'm drinking a cup of coffee. And in the background we always keep, in case we need to look up anything, the New Wave of British Heavy Metal Encyclopedia by Malk Macmillan. Now, like everything, all of these I'll try and breeze through it with no editing while I'm manfully trying to focus my camera. It's really annoying, so please forgive me. So let's investigate the world of heavy metal between April the 11th and 21st of 1982. Still 10 bob for all the best in heavy metal news in the UK. So I'll scan some of the stuff in as well, so you can pause and read it at your leisure on a Sunday or whenever it takes your fancy. Now, a precursor here, there appears to be some scaffolding getting taken down from the house next door, so that may be going on in the background, but I mean, fingers crossed we can just get through this in one go, and I'll try and keep it under 20 minutes. Anyway, Dunsy. So, Britain's loudest rock mag. Who's on the front? Gary Barden and Paul Raymond. Led Zeppelin, Nazareth, Motorhead, The Rods, Titan, Randy Rhoads, Queen, Rory Gallagher, Southern Boogie, Uli Roth, not Uli, Tommy Bolin, I love Tommy Bolin, Demon, Diamond Head, Girl School, and You Can Win Scorpions Blackout, Prince. So, Mayhem, look away now if you don't want to see a scantily clad lady and Motley Crue. Don't know if I'll scan that in. It's a Sunday, yeah, it's a Sunday. What did they not say it's their auntie or one of their aunties or something like that? More metal choppers on display at LA's Motley Crue's Party On Down. After a recent gig in Hollywood, lead singer Vince, the Hair, Neil informs that he won't be bringing his cute little sister to Europe with him on the band's forthcoming continental trek. Pardon me, with Wishbone Ash. That was in last week's episode. Remember, they were supposed to be doing a European tour with classic 70s classic rock legends at Wishbone Ash. Thank heavens for Small Mercies. What else is in the news? The Rods, Crocus, Blue Oyster Cult, Fun and Frolic. So there's a couple of Motorheads, Wheels of Steel, AC/DC. Foreigner have announced that they'll be stopping off for a few dates in this country next month. The band, who supported Foreigner on that tour? Gamma 1982, I think. Playhouse, 5th of May. At the Rod's recent marquee gig, fans were not only treated to an evening of powerhouse metal, but also the cavorting around stage of a somewhat scantily clad young female. Holy smokes, on a Sunday as well. Suspenders, leather, whips, that sort of thing. In fact, after some of the disgusting events that took place backstage at their Oxford date on the Maiden tour, we've got the pictures but daren't use them in our centre spread. And that's back in 1982. I don't think you'd be allowed to use them in 2025. I think that's a cat coming in, so be prepared for a cat flap noise. Editor Alf, protector of the brave Martin, is threatening to ban all KERRANG staff from future Rods gigs. It's quite serious, eh? Then we have a big advert for Asia. Supergroup Asia. Here we go, Schenker's Renegades, ex-MSG, oh that's right. Gary Barden was replaced at this point in time by Graham Bonnet. Ex-MSG members Paul Raymond and Gary Barden talk exclusively to Steve Gett about their new projects. What did Paul Raymond do? The Ruffians. My camera will probably go out of focus after showing you that. Paul Raymond did present living in LA did present a few problems while I was in MSG because I had to spend a lot of time away from home. Gary Barden is currently living in Hampstead, just down the road from guitarist Gary Moore, with whom he's recently been working following his departure from MSG. There we go, Paul Raymond's Ruffians. It'll be quite bright. It's quite bright outside today, so I'll maybe scan that in. What does Paul Raymond say? I've been stockpiling a lot of songs which I hadn't been able to use. Gary Barden. I'll scan this in for you so you can read through it. But I think the whole gist of it was the management record label didn't think MSG were on the right trajectory, getting big enough, and they thought we need to get a more popular singer in than Gary Barden. I don't think necessarily a better singer, but excuse me, just one who had like a bigger name, you know. Bloody camera. But then he was back in for the Reading performance, of course. Advert for Blackout and the Scorpions. Blackout. Top 30 cuts. Oh, and they've got a... Where are they now? This is too easy, so I'll tell you, where are they now? It's Rick Medlock. But what's top 30 cuts? Again, I'll scan this in, and you can use Spotify or whatever streaming service you may use, or you may have all these records, and compile a playlist of what was hitting the Kerrang turntable in April 1982. Number 1, Train Live. Well, that was the single, maybe? Did Blackfoot did like a live single? It was the Highway song. They said they recorded every date on their UK tour, and then they put like a single out for every gig, because I had the one from the Edinburgh, but I'm sure it was just the same recording as just used on them all. Then we have number 2, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Number 3, Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden. Oh, hot off the press, Girls' School have announced that their new bass player is Gil Weston, who has previously played with the Killjoys and Kevin Rowlands. Who? Kevin Rowlands. Come on, Irene. Eileen. I was thinking of Sensational Alex Harvey Band. They don't have Irene. The late, great Randy Rhoads. His polka dot Flying V. Southern Boogie. Oh, that's why I've got 2 of these, because I think I used, or no, the Uli Roth picture, I took a page out of one of these Led Zeppelin, I think, and I had it on my wall. So I love this issue of Kerrang, because it was like a big feature on Southern Boogie, and I think that was, we had, what date's this? We saw Blackfoot around the time this came out. Loved Southern Boogie, still love Southern Boogie. And this was just, I was just reading about all these bands who I didn't really know. And it was so interesting. So Southern Boogie, Jim Dandy. So what I've done is I've actually taken a page out of this one. So I'll take a spare one back in the time. So you've got all these Southern rock bands. Black Oak, Arkansas, Charlie Daniels Band. Oh, just things I wasn't really familiar with. Hydra. Who else? Oh, just Lord Point Blank and stuff like that. So I used this informed me on what excuse me, oh, maybe bleep that. This really informed me on what Southern Boogie records to go out and buy. There's the Zeppelin poster, which I must have had on my teenage bedroom wall. So back to this one. Ulrich, easy for me to say, Roth. Uli Roth, as he's known. He's a Sunshine Superman. Former Scorpions guitarist sheds a bit of light on his activities. Interview by Steve Gett. He was like, him and Blackmore were the first, I guess, do we describe it as neoclassical sort of lead guitarist, I think, maybe. Big Hendrix fan as well, of course. Uli was. And, I don't want to be overly critical, because I've seen him a few times and he's a fantastic guitar player. But he perhaps should have left the microphone with Klaus rather than singing on Hellcat and stuff like that. It's not the best. Cuts. Scan these in. Read them at your leisure. Don't want to read all these out. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Now, I expect they gave that a good review. Riggs. Don't know much about Riggs, to be honest. And I know even less about Donny Iris and the Cruisers. Motorhead, Iron Fist. It will be interesting to see what they say about Iron Fist. The bottom line of my ramblings is that Motorhead have remained loyal and true to their cause, never giving in to fashions or ephemeral trends. Basically, they've stood their ground without compromise, and I can think of only one word benefiting such action: honesty. There you go. Honesty is the best policy. Aldo Nova. First Aldo Nova album, that's brilliant. That's a really good melodic sounding album. Just great tunes, great guitar playing. Abominog by Uriah Heep, that was like a sort of return to heaviness, almost metal for the Uriah Heep chaps. Imports, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Oh, this is before it had been released in the UK and become a massive hit. I Love Rock and Roll, various artists, Metal Clogs. Obviously Dutch, Netherlands, compilation Conductor, don't know much about that. Revolver, six-piece German outfit fronted by a black American female. Such a curious concoction that the end result could prove either more sparkling than Babysham or as flat as a bottle of week old pop. Tommy Bowen. Again, like this I loved this magazine, this particular issue, because it was like Skinnerd and Tommy Bowen, the late great genius of Tommy Bowen. Cool looking dude. Oh, there's the rods. I'll warn you before I show you this picture. There's a guy's bum in this, but he's at least wearing his pants. They look to be clean-ish, and there's guys with no tops on. So here's the rods. So there must have been other pictures in Oxford that they couldn't use from this shoot. I won't show you this one because you're not allowed to show this one. I'll maybe hold it like a way back here, but there's something that you wouldn't be allowed to show on YouTube these days. In fact, I'll maybe even have to blur that out despite you being about 3 feet away. Backstage at a Motorhead gig. You can only imagine the goings on. Live reviews, Motorhead and Tank. I'll scan that one in as well. I won't scan that other page in. Concerts, Rock and Roll Preachers, Slade and Spider, Ipswich, Gaumont. We have Budgie at the Winchester Recreation Centre and Angel Witch at the Marquee. What does it say? It is very unhip in heavy metal circles to admit my camera's not focused. Sorry. To admit to liking Angel Witch. The music press completely ignore the band, and even to a large proportion of the most die-hard metal addicts, the Witch are regarded as objects of derision. Not my house, however. Contact, people writing in. Contact, maybe they're asking questions. Could you please tell me what Zero are up to? Have they got a major deal? Is there any vinyl due out from them on a sign of a tour? How about an article on them? I wonder if that was somebody who was who was in the band Zero who wrote in. Focus. If I come closer, it seems to focus. The headline here, Don Powell, how to use the toilets. And here we have a picture of Nazareth. Very popular in Scotland, Canada, Germany. And Adrian Smith and his Ibanez Destroyer. Missing a page here. Armed and Ready. That was my favourite feature in these magazines. Who do we have in Armed and Ready? Who is the up and coming young heavy metal lads? Bashful Alley. They had a single out, Bashful Alley. Let's see what Malk's saying about Bashful Alley. Never fine. I mean, I really should look up the index to see Would Be Bitches Sin, Battlezone, Bashful Alley. Dave Slayman, vocals, Rob Tidd, guitar, Ian Truff, Threlfall, bass, and Donkey. They had a donkey on the drums. They did 7-inch single, 2 versions of it, and they were on the New Wave of British Heavy Metal Volume 1 bootleg CD. I remember them as being quite good. And Ore, I have a bootleg of Ore from the Reading Festival, I think it is. Maybe I've got two old bootlegs. They were really good. I don't think they went on to record anything properly, but if they did, I know a man who will have found out. Or Pariah, Paradigm, Palygap, Pagan Altar, Overkill. Not the thrash metal band from New York. Oh no, they did. They released a 7-inch single, Your Time Will Come, on Bandit Records. So it was good. Oh, look at Kev Riddle's t-shirt. I won't say it out because I'll get in trouble, but it's a live picture of Titan. That Gary Owen from A to Z. And Girls School with a new bass player, Gil Weston. Rough Diamonds. Dante Bonuto cuts it with Diamond Head. Feature with Diamond Head there. And the Kerrang Crossword. Pen Pals. People started sending their pictures in to be in the Pen Pals. I wouldn't have done that, that's for sure. Here we go. Any women, WIMMIN, any women deeply into Quo, Purple, Whitesnake, Gillan and Zappa living in Surrey, 17-year-old male is ready and willing. Please get in touch. Cheers. God bless ya. God bless ya. You're gonna break the chains. Accept. Pen Pals. Richie Blackmore, 8-page Rainbow Special in next week's issue. Queen and Demon. One hell of a night. Letters. Who's in letters? So as I've said before, I'll every 10 issues I will do like a special and I'll read out some angry letters. It's quite a long one. This is from someone who's called Vibrating Len. Okay, I'll fast forward you through. Actually, it took me a wee while to find one. Here we go. It's quite a long one, as our missus, as the vicar said to somebody else. This letter comes in response to Deb and Rich, whose letter was printed in Kerrang number 9. Are you ready for this? Imbeciles like you really make me want to vomit. Just because some people, being connoisseurs of nice bums, like to see pictures of the posteriors of the likes of Ian Gillan, David Coverdale and John Sykes, late John Sykes, man, swoon, doesn't make them tarts. Indeed. Okay, so heavy rock should be admired for its quality, we all agree. But surely that doesn't mean that in order to like the music, we have to shut ourselves off completely from all these handsome gentlemen whom we so greatly admire in the heavy part of the music world. Wise words. After all, we are not all frigid Puritans, are we? You are obviously unappreciative of the physical appearances of our heroes. So how would drips like you know what everyone who likes the look of any particular musician's bum is just a, quotes, silly little schoolgirl? Silly I might be for being a schoolgirl by choice, but at 5'8" tall, I ain't exactly little. One of the main features of this magazine is its great photography. So why shouldn't we see what we want to see, i.e. bums galore? Admittedly, the music should always come first, indeed it should. But after that, who could resist most luscious males? You say you've been to see Motorhead. How on earth did you manage to turn a blind eye to the amazing physique of Fast Eddie? As for the Rush gig you say you attended, you were unable to see, or were you unable to see, or what? Alex Lifeson is the most desirable male in the whole wide world. I think Mr. Lifeson would be delighted to hear that. I'm a huge Rush fan. I'll maybe email his people and tell him, was he aware of what was said in Kerrang in 1982? One last point, it is a very noticeable fact that your attack was aimed only at females of the species. What happened to our better halves, who are always going on about the likes of Stevie Nicks, Kelly Johnson of Girls' School? Yes, even our British males indulge in the art of bum watching. Everyone's at it, except you, and that is from Love and Peace, Antiseptic. Antiseptic. And on the back page we have Rory Gallagher. What a guitar player. What guitar is he playing? Is that like a... It's not his Strat. Talking about his Jinx EP. So there you go, folks. That was Heavy Metal Sunday at Dunsys, episode 13, where I was looking at Kerrang, issue 13, and while drinking a cup of coffee. Stuff will have been scanned in, and you can pause and read at your leisure. So have a great Sunday. Cheers for now.